Hi there, I'm back. Today, dive deep in six leadership styles: autocratic, democratic, bureaucratic, transformational, strategic, transactional leadership. Let's go! Well, folks, let me lay it out plain and simple. When the going getting tough, you better believe autocratic leadership is like a lifesaver. Whether it is a self slum, a communication crisis, or an organization still finding its feet, you gotta have the iron fisted leader steering the ship. You gotta remember the Tylenol crisis, right? Well, in that chaotic situation, the bigwigs at the top let down the laurel with autocratic leadership. They didn't mess around. They barked out orders like a drill sergeant on a mission. They had the quality assurance folks double check with product batches needed to be yanked off the shelves. The sales team were gearing up the smooth talk distributors and wholesalers about the product glitches and the whole recall things. Meanwhile, the PR SWAT was drafting up speeches faster than the hummingbird's wings. It was like a well-oiled machine, and that's a bright sign of autocratic leadership in action when things get the fan. Think about it. When you're under the knife in the operation room, you don't want to hear the head honker dog arguing with the rest of the crew, right? No. You want them to take charge and make those split second decisions. How about finance folks? Well, they're like the specialists with a specific mission. They aren't got to see the whole company financials dance. Just hand them the assignment and let them run with it. Take something like ID. You're not gonna let some tech quiz kid run wild with all your sensitive data and secret, right? No, they're on strict leash, only touching what they are allowed to, and don't even think about leaking information to the world or selling it to the competitors. It's like keeping a Hawkeye's guard on duty. Well, folks, I know you love it if I rock the boat with some democratic leadership, servant leadership, or even laissez-faire leadership, whatever. Guess what? Now, if I'm a top dog in that organization, I'm better believe I'm voting for this autocratic style all the way. I'm rolling with it because I'm here to crap on the power, authorities, privileges, and benefits for me, for myself only. Whether you like it or not, who cares? It's my way of on the highway, baby. Well, folks, let's shine a spotlight on the weak link in the chain of autocratic leadership, shall we? It's like creativity and productivity vacuum cleaner sucking on the life out of the room. People end up feeling more trained like a flat tire on a scorching summer day. And they're so controlled and bumped out that they start eyeing the exit. And who stick around? Well, it's often the ones who can snag a better gig elsewhere. They're stuck in silence, working like a modern day Cinderella without a single original thought, objection, or perspective. They're basically puppets on a string dancing to the boss tune. They're hardly any chit chat among those co workers either. So they don't get to share the wisdom, show off their skills, or learn from each other. It's like a knowledge desert out there. And the cherry on top of this autocratic Sunday, some folks don't bother improving their skills or knowledge. Instead, they're busy playing the suck off the boss game. Yeah, they're on a mission to pucker off and make the boss day. Well, let me tell you about democratic leadership, folks. It likes a backyard of a barbecue of work environments, open, comfortable, and downright inviting. It's the kind of setup that gets everyone's gear turning, where you can toss idea around, have a good debate, and let those creative juice flow. I mean, it's like a brainstorming bonanza with folks coming at the problem from all angles. You got yourself a smorgasbord of viewpoints that where the real learning kicks in. You're sitting at the knowledge buffet, loading off your plate with insights from all over the place. So, in the nutshell, democratic leadership is like an all-you-can-eat idea fest, and everyone's invited that buffet of brilliance. Well, let's take a wide ride into the not-so-great side of democratic leadership, folks. I'm talking about those moments when you need a quick decision and laser focused answer, but you're stuck waiting for someone to cast the votes. I mean, imagine you're in the burning buildings and someone in dire need of help. Do you really want to sit around brainstorming the best way to put on a fire or mend a broken bone? Heck no! And here's the kicker, folks. Sometimes you got folks toasting ideas around like confetti at a parade, even though they don't know diddly squat about the topic at hand. It's like a cacophony of cluelessness. Is enough to try anyone Betty? It's like trying to think in the middle of circus. It's noisy, it's distracting, it's downright turbulent. Oh wait, there's more. In the real world, the newbies, the greenhorns, and the youngest gun in the organization often get the short end of the stick when it comes to voicing their opinions. It's like they're in the last kid pick for the dodgeball team. So what happens? Well, you end up with some department heads and division bigwigs who have their own agendas, and the team just nod along like bobbleheads. They're like a secret society with their own interests, fighting against the greater good of the whole organization. Well, folks, let's dive into the world of bureaucratic leadership, where things are about as safe as a library full of fluffy pillows. I mean, have you ever seen a government worker switch jobs? It's rarer than a unicorn signing. And here's a little secret for you. These government officers often clock in 9 a.m. and call it a day by 3 p.m. Yep, the masters are looking busy when they are actually just pretending to do something important. It's like a real life game of office charades. But hold on a second, don't get me wrong. There are some ancient companies like Coca Cola, Colgate, and IBM that have been around for a very, very long time. Once upon a time in a fairy tale, the weather storms danced in the rain and seen more ups and downs than a roller coaster. And what do they have to show for it? A treasure trove of lessons learned that they turn into procedure, rules, and regulations. So if you nuke it on the block, haven't seen the whole show. What in the world are you gonna change or voice your opinions about? Just rack up in the rule book, you'll find the magical formula for getting your work done. It's like following a recipe for success, folks. Well, so let's talk about bureaucratic leadership, and boy, does it come with some weak sauce. We're talking about lack of flexibility that's different than a board, decision slower than sloth and molasses and change. Well, trying to get something off the box in this setup is like attempting to drive in the moon in your minivan. And if you want a breath of fresh air, you better be ready to delegate the task to the peons below you. Because there's not much delegation happen in this kind of leadership. It's like they got a rule book thicker than a phone book, and everyone got to stick to their assigned lanes. No room for creativity and stepping outside the box, folks. Now, when it comes to learning from your coworker and having a chit chat, forget about it. It's like working in a robot factory. You lock in, do your thing, and when the clock strikes the magical hour, you punch out and head for the hills. Work until time's up, instead of until you finish your job, might as well be the motto of this organization. In the eyes of work life balance, this kind of leadership seems to be quite suitable, right? Last but not least, these places are like a leather factory with more rungs than you can shake a stick at. You got levels of authority stack up like a game of Jenga gone wild. And you know who's got to carry the hefty burden of that salary budget? Well, take a wild guess, my friends. It's like a game of who's gonna foot the bill, and the answer aren't too hard to figure out. Well, folks, let's talk about transformational leadership. And trust me, it's like a wild roller coaster ride of awesomeness. These leaders are the action heroes of the corporate world. They're proactive, they can pivot faster than a breakdancer, and they're as flexible as a contortionist at a circus. Now, picture this scenario. You're in a small organization, and the entrepreneur in charge is all about this style of leadership. Instead of toasting a boatload of cash at motivation tactics, this boss is like, hey, let's all gather around the campfire and share our dreams, our ambitions, our missions, and visions. It's like a motivational powwow, and it gets the whole team marching in step with the boss' constant changes. That's why the team and the boss are tired than the cowboys' jeans, and there are more friendliness going around than a family reunion. And guess what? If things go well, you're on the express train to Careerville. Promotion galore! Alright, folks, let's lift the cone and take a look at the not so great side of transformation leadership. And trust me, it's got some curse. These leaders change their minds so often, it's like a whirlwind, and some of the poor staff members end up feeling as lost as a squirrel in a snowstorm. Imagine this. Every move the team makes seems to be at the boss' beck and call, following the latest command and order, like a bunch of obedient sheep. And when the boss starts thinking they're the bee's knees, things go from bad to worse. The team starts with the thought of another daydream, another vision, another mission again from the boss. Sometimes they feel like they're being flaking an earful of hot air when the boss starts spouting the new dreams. So what do? They quietly pack their bags and hit the road. It's like a revolving door of stuff in these places, with folk skedaddling out there faster than you can say trim on. Well, strap in, folks, because we are about to unravel the mystery of strategic leadership. And let me tell you, it's like trying to play chess with a bunch of genius grandmasters. This isn't your run of the mill game of checkers. We're talking about the model of all planes, the whole shebang, the master blueprint for the organization. It's so tangled up and twisted like a squirrel nest that you need GPS just to find your way around. Now, to keep the whole gang on the same page and play nice with each other, they're passing around information faster than a caffeinated jackrabbit. Like a gossip marathon, and they're more transparent than a freshly cleaned window. No secret here, folks. But hold on, cause there's a twist. It's like play it's like playing dominoes in tornado. One piece falls and the whole gang's got to leap into action like a bunch of synchronized dancers to keep the chain reaction from turning into a total train wreck. It's a teamwork extravaganza where everyone got each other's back and they all march into the same beat to beat those past kids' deadlines. Now that's what I call a harmonious hustle. Alrighty, folks, let's take a gander at the not so smooth side of strategic leadership, and it's got its quirks, no doubt. See, they spend so much time hashing out those grand plans, talking and debating till the cows come home, and that when the unexpected curveballs start flying, it's like trying to turn a cruise ship on a dime. It's full-blown Groundhog Day scenario where everyone's back at the drawing board, huddled up in meetings and writing up proposal after proposal to get the boss blessing. It's like trying to catch a train that already left the station, and by the time they finally get things sorted, the competitor are halfway to the finish line. I'm not sure if it's a case of too big to fail, but one thing for sure, when the unexpected comes knocking, these plans tend to crumble like a cookie dunked in milk. Because we're talking a wide ride into the world of transactional leadership, and let me tell you, it's got more twists and turns than a roller coaster at a fun fair. These bigwigs in the ballroom are like puppet master pulling on a string to get their staff fired up, and giving their absolute best during the new sales campaign, grand branch opening, or when they unveil fancy new factory. Here the scoop. They dangle some serious tantalizing bonus and throw wealthy awards in front of their employees. It's like a treasure hunt with a map written in neon lines. Super clear instructions, requirements that you couldn't miss if you try, and a measure tool that's so on the money. It might as well be Santanoti's nice list. Plus, the tracking performance in real time, like they're watching a live action sport game. Now, let's look at another side of the picture when it's got sneaky. The big wigs want to give someone a boot. They set up a competition with rules that are about as fair as a rigged carnival game. They pile on the pressure until that poor soul can't take it anymore. Everyone else is winning the war left and right, and he's stuck in the sidelines, feeling like the office does. Eventually, he throws in the towel and hands his resignation letter faster than you can say, "You fine." But wait, there's more to this fishy tale. To lure in the competition staff, the bigwigs make a big old racket about their out these square bonuses and reward. It's like they're waving a shiny lure in front of a fish, and those competitors and players just can't resist taking a bite. It's a trick to snag the best talent from their rivals and shake up the whole personnel situation. Sneaky, sneaky, you so sneaky. Well, folks, let me tell you, it's like a never ending haggle fest between bosses and staff. It's all about the cold hard cash. Money talks, bullshit walls. Well, they're just a load of bull hockey. It's like marketplace where if you aren't flashing the cream, don't bother chit-chatting. See, in this game, it's all about the dangling bonuses and awards like a carrot in front of a donkey, and suddenly everyone's hustling like there's no tomorrow. But here's the kicker: when the competition's over, it's like watching a balloon deflate. Productivity skyrockets during the cash grab, but as soon as the money dries up, it's back to business as usual, and sometimes even worse than before. It's like the milking their staff for all they worth, but just like those crazy customers who only shop during the sales. But oh boy, it gets juicier. They're not above poaching talent from their rivals, but throwing cash around. It's like they're fishing in someone else's pond, but here's the twist. The competitor can play the same game. It's a real life tit for tat situation where everyone's luring each other's stuff with the promise of fatter wallets. Talk about taste of your own medicine. Well, folks, consider that your appetizer. We just polish off 6 juices leadership style for your entertainment. But hold on to your seats because there's more to come. We got 4 more leadership styles just waiting to strut their stuff in the next episode. So stay tuned and get ready to gobble up some leadership wisdom like it's a buffet of knowledge. Goodbye. Thank you for listening. If you like this content, you can like, subscribe, and share. And if you don't like, you can subscribe only. That's enough. Thank you.